Y'all doing this Sunday afternoon? Sunday afternoon. Are y'all ready? Ready, 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 ready. All right, let's get popping. What's up, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is a show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R. Let's get it poppy, y'all. That's how we doing, man. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Hold on. I ain't done. I ain't done. Yeah. So let's get into this. Can you be a good father, but a bad husband or boyfriend? Can you be a terrible lover, terrible father? Well, I don't want to say terrible, but let's just say you might have some challenges. You may have some challenges on the relationship front, but can you otherwise be a good dad? Can you otherwise be a good dad? That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're talking about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. How are y'all feeling, man? I know I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. Also, feeling like a real man. Feeling like a real man. What's going on, grown woman? Don't try me. What's good? And Dimples D's is all up in the house. How y'all feeling, man? I know I'm good. I'm good. Sunday, 23rd of February. February is almost out of here. Y'all know it's only 28 days in February. You know it's only 28 days in February, and we are knocking right on that door. It's about to happen. It's going down. It's going. Grown women don't try says, hey, oh, your relationship with your child has nothing to do with your relationship with the mother if you're both mature adults. And you know what? I think that you're right. I think that you're 100% correct. But evidently, a lot of people don't feel the same way. You know, it's really tough to deal with somebody who has been scorned in a relationship, and some people aren't able to separate one thing from another thing. So I could understand how if you were in a relationship with somebody, and I'm sure that you were probably in a relationship with somebody before you had children with them. So if y'all were in a relationship and then y'all had children, then y'all were together after y'all had children, and then maybe y'all started to have relationship problems, or y'all got married and possibly had marital problems and maybe got divorced and all of that. It might be hard to separate the fact that somebody might be good to their children, but not that good to you. And that might be because you may have felt like you should have been put first because you came first. You came before the children. So you might feel like, well, why would you do the mother of your children wrong? Or if the roles were reversed and we're asking, can you be a bad girlfriend or wife and still be a good mother? All right. Most people would probably say that you can be a good mother regardless of the circumstances, but we're gonna try to be fair. We're gonna try to be fair when we talking about the whole setup, the whole thing, the whole night. All right. So yeah, I could understand how, like, when you meet somebody, you probably don't know that you're going to have children with them already, unless you want some psychopathic thing to where you like, yo, soon as I saw him, I knew I was going to have his baby because I was going to make sure that I got pregnant. But, and if it's not a situation like that, and even if it is a situation like that, I could understand how you might feel some kind of way about y'all getting together first. First the meeting took place between the two of you, and then y'all got together, and then y'all were together, and then y'all started having relations and all of that kind of stuff, regardless of how soon it took off or how long it took to take off. And then after the children were born and all of that kind of stuff, you may feel like the children were born out of love, like, and the love that it came out of was the love for me. I'm trying to speak from what I think might be the mentality of a woman who doesn't think that a man could be a good father and a bad husband or a bad boyfriend and still be a good father. I'm just trying to. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just putting out there what I think might be the thought process based on things that I've heard before. So, yeah, I think that you should definitely be able to separate the two things. Like, what does my relationship with you have to do with the love for my children? She's probably thinking like, well, because those children came out of me. Like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have those children. Of course, if it wasn't for both of us, we wouldn't have children at all. But those children came from me. Like, I carried those children. Like, I conceived them, and then I carried them. And then I take care of them, took care of them, and taking care of them. So, maybe she feels like you should give me a little bit more respect as being the mother of your children. I don't feel like you ain't representing, you ain't doing the right thing. You're not, this ain't right. So it might be hard for her to separate. The same way that some people can't separate sex from marriage. It's no different. A lot of people can't do that. And a lot of people probably feel like you shouldn't have to do that. You should not have to do that. I understand. I get it. But that's why that's one of the main reasons I think it's important to get to know a person very well before you start to have children with them, or before you decide to shack up with them. and or before you decide to get married to him or anything like that. I don't think that it's a good thing for you to learn the person that you're married to on the fly. I don't think that that's a good thing. And I just don't think that that's a good look. People do it. People do it. Plenty of people do it. And what I eat don't make nobody else shit. I get it. I totally 100% absolutely get it. But these are some of the things that you can run into. You know, not being able to separate your feelings from actual things that are going on because of the way that you feel. So, can you be can you be a bad boyfriend, a bad baby father, and still be a good father? Can you be a bad husband, but still be a good father? We need to pick this apart. We need to break this down. We need to chop this fable. We need to find this thing out. Listen, if y'all would like to call into the show, I invite y'all to call in. And the number to call is area code 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-874-1949. And I'll get you right on up in here. There won't be no delaying. We gonna talk serious, no playing, even though we like to play. I know I do. Y'all know I do. You know, I've heard some women say that or claim that some men weren't as good of a father as she thought that they should be because he wasn't doing for her or treating her the way she felt like she needed to be treated. Now, oh man, so much going on with this. We have to take a real close look at situations like this. By the way, Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. And T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Thanks for coming on through, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. It ain't gonna do nothing but help the channel. As y'all can see, I need help right now. You know what I mean? They playing with my algorithm. Changing up the algorithm. Making me hard to find. Trying to take away nigga shine. So I need y'all to hang on in there. Yeah, and show that you're here and care. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Gotta get through this pressure time. Yeah, all right. Anyway, we really gotta be careful when it comes to subjects like this, because I've seen situations where I have seen women manipulate a way for them not to be, manipulate a way or ways for a man not to be a good father. Like she was going to make sure that he didn't become a good father. You understand what I'm saying? Like she was going to totally get in the way of his ability to be a good dad. I've seen this happen. And some of y'all may have seen it happen too. And some people may feel like it's justified at times. And some people may feel like, nah. Like, for example, if a man isn't giving a woman the financial support that she feels like he should pay, I've seen women forbid him from being able to see his kids. Like when you come up with more money, then you can see your kids. Other than that, we don't have nothing to talk about. So in a situation like that, you may claim that a man or a father is a deadbeat dad. And he may not be a deadbeat dad at all, but you set him up to look like one. You put him out there to really look like that to other people. Now you can ask, well, what does it matter to other people? You know what you're doing. But if a man wants to be a good father and potentially is a good father to his children, but he doesn't have access to his children, how is he going to be a good dad? How is that child going to know that he as a father cares and that he is there and that he is accessible? How's the child going to know that he's there? You know, one of the real problems with single parenting that I have is that, and this is a call to action for all men who are separated from their children. Make sure that your kids can always contact you and have access to you. Make sure that they know that. Because if you let your frustration rule over you and you don't see your children in a long time, and a long time can be subjective. So for some fathers, a long time might be a few weeks. For other dads, a long time might be 6 months. For others, it could be anything after 6 months. And I think anything after 6 months is a long time. But and I mean without any contact. You may not have physical contact with your children, but you should always make sure that you have some verbal contact and make sure that they are able to access you verbally with the knowledge that you will be there. You are of help and you are there to be there for them no matter what. They should always know that. So the problem one of the biggest problems that I see with single parents, especially with the mom being a single parent, if she doesn't have a good relationship with the dad, she may, and because I'm not going to put this on all women, because I've seen some women act responsibly and not tear down the dad to the children. Other women, I've seen them tell their truth, not the truth, but their truth. And their truth is, well, you see, your dad ain't been around and your dad ain't coming around and he don't call you. And, so he probably out there with his other family. He probably out there with another woman. Wherever he is, he ain't coming around here. Only person around here that seems to care about you is me. But that's all right, because I got you. Yeah, it sounds very dedicated, loyal, and protective. But it might be a lie. Could be a lie. She might not let on that she blocked daddy's number in her phone and on all social media. She might conceal the fact that the last time y'all moved, she didn't give daddy the phone. Give daddy the address. There might be some control, some negatively controlling mechanisms in place. It happens, and you have to be cognizant of this type of thing, because this happens often enough to definitely raise my eyebrows, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But these are some of the things we got to put up with. What up, Omar? What's good? How you feeling, my dude? My namesake is all up in the house. Good to see you. And also LPDO. You already know how we do, my peoples. So yeah. So if a man has been blocked from being able to access his children, it's going to be hard for him to argue that he's a good dad. Because who is he a good dad to? You got to have children in order to be a good dad. So you have to have access in order to do the good things for your children. Your children have to be present. They have to be there, and you have to be there with them. You have to be able to access your children, even if you can't be physically there. So with the technology that we have nowadays, we can FaceTime all day. you can see daddy's image. Even if daddy is locked up, you know, somebody sneak daddy in a phone and dad, you know what I mean? Sneak me in the iPhone this time so I can see my babies, let them know everything is all right. I'll be home soon. Yeah, I ain't coming home till 2036, but trust me, the time will go fast. Don't graduate high school without me. Anyway, yeah. Can you be a good, or should I say, can you be a bad father or bad husband and be a good father? I'm sorry. Can you be a bad boyfriend or a bad husband and still be a good father? Well, there are some things that have to fall in place in order for this thing to happen, but it happens every day. Now, I want to shout out a lot of the women that have admitted. Yeah, as far as being a boyfriend, you know, no, he wasn't good. As far as being a father, as far as being a husband, he wasn't good. We weren't good for each other. He definitely wasn't good for me. But he's an amazing dad. He makes sure that he makes sure that the kids have everything that they need. He makes sure he come and get them. They spend time with him. They love him to death. Yeah, he's a good dad. Shout out to the women who will admit that, because there are plenty who do. There are plenty who will represent and tell the truth and be like, yeah, you know, we couldn't make it together, but my children don't have to want for nothing. They don't have to want for nothing. They don't have to need for nothing. He comes through. He makes sure that he represents, you know what I mean, financially, whatever. They go with him. He take them on vacations. He makes sure that he got them. And he does have them. And he might have other kids. He might have other kids somewhere else. But he makes sure, hey, listen, they know all of their brothers and sisters and all of that. He ain't separating the kids. Like, look, these are my kids. I can't get all the baby moms together, but I can get all my kids together. And they're going to be like that. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Hold on, let me get this mic right. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it feels. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit the like button, please. Do me that just one little solid. Hit the like button. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We are asking about, can you be a bad husband or a bad boyfriend? A bad baby dad. I can't stand my baby dad, but my kids love him to death. Hate my baby dad, but my kids can't get enough. Daddy. Baby moms be on the side. Straight hating.
You have a call from.
All right, let's run it.
Hey, what's up? I just man, my brother.
What's going on?
I'm relaxed, man. I agree with a lot of things you're saying. I just wanted to chime in and just give my opinion.
That's what we're here for. Let's go.
Yeah, like we had the conversation before, and I was listening to some of your other work when you're speaking on the topic. The thing is, it's like the word husband, like for what the word husband means in a dictionary and stuff. Like what the word husband means, you can't be a dad without being a good husband. It's like both sides of the coin. For example, being there financially is one thing, and then being there physically, hands-on, is a whole another thing. Because, for example, with nature, we got dogs that have puppies. The dogs see where their puppies sleep every night. We got grown men out here. Our children don't know what their children are eating and don't know what their children are sleeping in. So it's like one always comes before two. You're a boy before you're a teenager, and a teenager before a man. So when you're a husband, you're providing not just for the child, you're providing for the woman as well, emotionally and physically, and everything else. So it's like it's a duality. I don't understand how a person can have one without the other. To say I'm a good father, I'm a good husband. Like, oh no, like you're a good father, you're taking care of mom at home. No, And it's like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how you can be a good father, but then neglect your wife and then just still a good person.
Well,
it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, we talked about this yesterday, and just like a lot of things in life, you have to be able to separate. I thought about something after we talked yesterday. And when I was younger, I used to feel like if somebody wasn't cool with me, if somebody wasn't nice to me, if somebody wasn't a good person to me, then they weren't a good person. Period. Like if I didn't like them, then nobody should really like them. And I had to get older and basically stop acting like a bitch. I had to stop. Real shit. You know what I mean? Because just because something doesn't work for me and the way I feel, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for anybody else in the way that they feel. So the same way as if I rub somebody the wrong way, whether it was on purpose or whether it was by mistake, the same way that I don't think that it would be fair for them to tear down my name, sour my name with somebody else that I didn't even know or that didn't know me. Well, how can I do that with somebody else? Now I have the right to relate my experiences with somebody else that doesn't treat me right, but I don't have a right to tell somebody else that they're going to do the same thing to them that happened to me, because it might have been something petty. You know what I mean? It could have been, we could have just had a disagreement, and there are plenty of people out here who cannot deal with disagreements. So a disagreement to them means that somebody else ways of thinking is just unacceptable to them. So it should be unacceptable to everybody else. So they want to draw a line in the sand with everybody else that might be friends with them. So how you going to be cool with them knowing what they did to me and still be cool with me? You can't do it. So you got to choose either me or them. Well, no, that's not how life works. So I'm saying all of that to say this. Things may not work out with me and my baby mom. Maybe they didn't work out for us being together because maybe we weren't supposed to be together forever. Maybe we were supposed to be together for a reason and a season. And maybe that reason was to have children together. So we are bonded.
That's not normal.
No, it's not normal. It's very normal.
The thing is, I can understand where you're coming from, but the thing is like, as human beings, we all got like a base level of what's correct or what's not correct. For me, my word teaches me, if I can't care about that one person, I'm not going to care about the many. So for me, if I see a person treating a homeless person funny or being abnormal, like just being a dickhead or being funny, I'm going to distance myself from them. And I'm going to say that this is a fucked up person, because you got to have discernment. If a person is going to do something to what, if I'm going to rob you and I don't know you, best believe I'm going to rob somebody I know. So we have to use discernment, like to each their own. Some people, we all have to breathe. That's normal. But when it comes to everything else, it's like it's abnormal to me. It's like it's like structure. People forget the structure. There's no more structure. In the old days, religious-wise, I'm not trying to be a holy roly, but Muslims, Jews, or even the old Christians, in the old days, people didn't just get married and fucking have kids. They had, in the Jewish culture, you had to be married and was staying without sex for a year to 2 years when you first marry a person. Why? God knows how stupid humans are. You're going to be so busy worrying about how good the sex is, and you're going to bring a child in, and then you can't deal with the person. People don't do it the correct way. It's no order. The man with the woman together, they learn each other. They learn each other's habits. They learn each other's spirits to see if you can deal with a person before you bring a child in his life. Reproduction is beautiful, but it ain't just here to have fun. People are responsible for what they make. When I see a man deal with a woman and then have children and then, y'all can't control her mouth. You can't control her mouth when you got with her. Now you complaining because a kid is involved. You have to stay. Men have to endure. A woman gonna be a woman, even in Islam. That's why I look at men who complain about women and leave their children funny. Even in Islam, God said this to Adam: the devil, Shaitan, and the woman Eve, Hawa. One of them is your enemy, and one of them you're always going to have problems with. You got to figure out which one is which. Ain't nothing perfect. A woman is going to be a woman the way a man is going to be a man.
Let me
So
let,
it's
let
like
me
we just,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
With the example that you gave of marriage and having children, who do you know who has followed that example?
My pastor, Gino Jennings, I can count less on my hand because the way the way to God is very, very hard to follow.
Wait a minute. So
You
you
can
mean to
have
tell
sex.
me, hold on.
Mhm.
So you mean to tell me your
Yes,
pastor with his
yes.
wife, he waited 2.5 years to have sex with her?
Yes, Gino Jennings is on YouTube as well. He's well renowned around the world. He gave his testimony about how when he first met his wife at 13 and 14, he was in the church, she wasn't. So he backed off for her to get herself together, holy water. Once she got clean, they got together, they married, and then after 2 years of marriage, I believe they have up to 9 kids right now.
So wait a minute. He met her when he was like 13, 14. When did he?
Yes, and yeah, and then the thing is, he was speaking in tongues since he was that young, and he realized he wanted that woman. And he realized she wasn't saved, so he waited for them to become of age. He waited to see that she was saved. They got married, and after a year and a half, two of them being married, they had children, and they have 9 children, 8 or 9 children up to this day.
Do you know?
Same thing with A.R. Bernard. A.R. Bernard is another pastor, one of my ex-pastors at the New York Christian Cultural Center. He has 11 children from the same woman.
Okay.
And
Do
his
you know?
parents-
Hold on. Do you know how old they were when they finally got married?
Yes, in their 20s. And now Pastor Gino Jennings is about 67 years old.
Mm-hmm. So you
Yeah.
so he met his wife when he was like 13, 14 years old and dated her and all of that kind of stuff and didn't marry
No,
her.
he didn't date her. He didn't date her. He waited until they became of age. He tells the whole story. Gino Jennings on YouTube.
Wait. How old is of age? How old is of age?
How old is of age?
Yeah.
That's the thing. All 18 and above, in my opinion. Now, different states got different laws. Like New York is a special, for example, the age.
I want to go into all of that. I want to go into all that. I just want to get these facts together. So let's say he waited until they was 18 until before they started talking to each other seriously, get into a relationship, right? So what at what age you said they got married in their 20s, right?
Yes.
So from, let's say, 18. Matter of fact, I'll give it some grace. Let's say from 19 until maybe they got married when they was like 23. You saying that they didn't have sex, right?
That's what he says. I don't know the truth, but he's my pastor.
All right. I'm glad you say that you don't know if it's true. That's honest. All right. And you're saying that after,
I have to be honest.
And after they got married, you're telling me they waited 2.5 years to have sex after they got married.
Yes, because one thing my pastor explains, and people get it confused, God is not mad when we have sex. God said anything you do in the marriage in that bedroom is lawful. My pastor speaks on it. He said, all that stuff y'all want to do, he said, we ain't going to get into it. Whatever you want to do, as long as it's woman and man and woman, it's lawful under God's law. Be married first and know it. For example, when you eat a sandwich, you're going to inspect that sandwich and look at that sandwich and make sure that sandwich doesn't have poison on it. The problem is, most men don't look at their women like that. If you realize there's poison in that sandwich, you're not going to eat it. So if you realize a woman had, like, for example, I'm with a woman having unprotected sex a couple of years ago. We're in a relationship. Now, I noticed in the morning time, she had clothes all around the house downstairs. I said, where you getting all this? Where's this dirty clothes and dishes coming from? I realize this. If you're not taking care of your household as a single woman, when you have children, you're not going to be able to do the same thing either.
All right, so slow down. Hold on, slow down, because I don't want to get off track. But there's some missing information here, because if they met each other when they was like 13 or 14 years old, then it makes sense that they wouldn't be having sex at that young age, even though some people do. Okay, so if they got with each other seriously when they were about 18 years old, but didn't get married into their 20s, but we don't know if they had sex between the time that they were dating each other seeing each other, whatever you want to call it. And
I don't know that. Yeah,
right.
But they said it didn't.
But he claims that after they got married, even though he says that anything goes after a man and a woman are married, they waited 2.5 years to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is the thing. Some people, my pastor, for example, General Jennings, he goes by a certain kind of structure. So when he got married, it wasn't just saying I do, and now we're living in our father's home. No. Okay, before I say I do, what it says the man has to do for the wife. Okay, provide food, clothing, shelter, and conjugal rights. He talks about it. Okay, did I have a house to put her in? Did I have a job to feed her? Did I have clothes to put her in? Did I have food to give her? Yes. Okay, I'm able to marry her.
Okay.
When they were adults, he's saying that she didn't have, when he talks about it in detail, he said he was in love. He's saying that she didn't have the Holy Spirit on her. He didn't want to corrupt her or himself, so he waited. Even when they was adults, he said when he seen she was living a certain kind of way, he backed off. He said, I'm not going to bring poison in my life. Most men don't do that. They look at a woman and be too, most people in general, not even men, most people just in love with an imaginary person, so they put up with shit and have children that suffer.
All right.
It's hard.
But here's the thing.
Most people don't believe it. Yes.
Here's the thing. I don't trust man to tell me or give me an accurate account of whatever he does with his woman, because that's not my business. It's only his business. And as long as they're not hurting each other, I'm perfectly fine with that being his business, and not my business. The thing is, if you're going to tell me that a man and a woman have to be married in order to have children, and that they're supposed to follow these, and that they're supposed to follow these laws, then I need way more examples. I'm going to need like at least 1 million examples, or at least 10 people that you know who are following this, in order for you to say that it's the right way. Because I don't think that historically we can find any of this to be the way that we really practice anything. You know what I mean? Like
most people, if you look at it for what it is, religion has a lot to play with a person's upbringing and how they believe things and look at things.
That's true.
The Muslims are die for their religion. We see more Muslims that's willing to die for Allah and fight for their religion and go to jail for their religion. So we see Christians who's ready to die for Christ, and Christians who die by that word. The thing is, when you hear Muslims say, when you hear a Muslim man that will look like me, that can do my thing, oh yeah, I'm a virgin. They're not going to look at him funny. Yeah, you're a Muslim. But when a Christian man says it, he's look upon with a frown. It's not that hard. We have unbelievers following the word of God more than the believers do. I'm just speaking for me.
No, that's cool. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You like I said, man is full of sin, and he's very, very fallible. And you just don't know if he's always telling the truth, because sometimes, plenty of times, man will lie in order to get you to do the right thing, even though he's not doing the right thing. So, in his mind, hold on,
telling the truth.
And you may, even if you die telling the truth, you're dying for what you think is the truth. You're not dying for what you know is the truth. You're dying for what
that's the difference. That's the difference. Like I told you this before. Like, I don't believe these things. These things I know about the Lord. I know. It's not like, oh, I think.
How do you know?
Like, oh, I think around the corner.
How do you know? No. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know for a fact what God wants?
Because number one, it's not even about, when you connect it to source, you're going to know the will of nature and the will of the Father. Most people don't want to be what they created for. Evil has done so much. Evil has done so much in this day and age that we can't tell the difference no more.
Just break it down for me. How do you know God the way that you think that you know God, or the way you feel like you know God? How do you know?
How do you know? Not the things that I've seen that happens in this world.
Okay.
Like when I read the word, and it says, Jesus said this, my people suffer from lack of knowledge. When I read the word, it says what's going to happen in the end times. Man, it didn't say man. It didn't just say man will become lovers of man.
But Jesus did. In the end days, Jesus didn't.
I'm just going to finish the statement. He said in the end days, man going to become woman, and woman going to become man.
Okay.
He's talking about transsexuals with the physical things that they did with the doctors. The Bible.
I don't think that's what he's talking about. I don't think that's what he's talking. I don't think that's what he's talking about in that verse.
This is the thing. When people read it,
wait, hold on. I'm going to tell you what I think that he's talking about. As a man gets older, he starts to lose more and more of his testosterone, and he starts to grow. He starts to increase estrogen. So that's why as a man gets older, it's harder and harder for him to build muscle because he doesn't have the testosterone. Listen. No, you can't. Wait. You cannot say that's not what it means. But I'm only telling you. Hold on. I'm only telling you what I think it could mean. Because I don't think that he was talking about no transsexuals and all of that, because that's not a man becoming a woman, and that's not a woman becoming a man. That's not. When you think about the word becoming, we're talking about a natural process. This the thing is. So hold on, just let me finish. Don't read the whole word. He said that. He said they will have a strange strange desire in them. Man will become woman. Woman will try to become man. It says in the end days also that the brother will go against brother, mother against son, father against son. Everything got to talk about wars and rumors of wars. In the last 2 years, we have wars and rumors of wars. Listen. Hold on. I just want to say this last statement. No, you got it, because you got to let me talk, and we're getting too far away from the topic, and I don't want to do that. This topic is about whether you can be a bad boyfriend or a bad husband and be a good father. And I'm not going to go too far away from this topic. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
To be about God, so I'm answering.
All right, but you're also you're dominating too much, my man. You know, you got to let me talk. You can't keep cutting me off. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I tell you that man is fallible, even if you read the Bible, you can tell that some of the things that were written in the Bible were written by man and not God. I mean, they wrote drinking alcohol into the Bible. Why would God do? Well, hold on. Why would God? No, you can't drink. Only man would write drinking alcohol into the Bible. No God would do that. That is a manly desire.
Can I say something?
God wants you to keep your head straight. Because you can't listen to God and listen to the bottle at the same time. That can't be done. So you know. Oh, but I'm not done. Because I didn't get a chance to finish telling you about what I think that verse is may be saying. Like I said, as a man gets older, he loses more testosterone and gains more estrogen. And as a woman gets older, and that's the reason, because a man loses his testosterone, it's harder for him to gain muscle. It's easier for him to get sick, and he can also start to develop the shape more of a woman. Wait a minute, I'm not done. When a woman gets older, she actually starts to develop more testosterone, which may explain why she gets hairs on her chin, hairs on her chest, and that may explain why women naturally live a little bit longer, because testosterone has a lot to do with your immunity and your ability to keep yourself up in older age. So when it could be that when they say man will become woman and woman could become man, they could be talking about a natural process, which we can actually prove. We can actually see this. So
I know one thing. I can agree with you if you could show me one person in history, a man that grew a vagina or a woman that grew a dick because she has so much testosterone. That honestly, respectfully sounds redundant.
Okay, so if we
because regardless about testosterone or not, men and women biologically and spiritually are different creatures.
In all honesty,
our brain like women can.
In all honesty, a woman's clitoris is a little bit similar to a man's dick. And some women have a really big dick.
Penis starts off as clitorises. This is scientifically proven. When a male is developed in a woman's womb, he has a clitoris and then it grows into a penis. That's science nature. But what I'm talking about, what we're saying, let's keep it on topic. There's no much testosterone, no matter if a woman is injecting it to herself, that's going to make her grow a dick and become a man. It's not possible.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, there are some women. There are some women with some. There's some women with some really big. But listen, let's get back into this. Let's get back into this. Can a man be a bad boyfriend or a bad husband and still be a good father? Now you say no.
Let me ask you a question.
I say yes.
Please.
Yeah.
If you let's say for example, you have a woman and you have a child, right? Y'all married or not married? It doesn't really matter. But the important thing is this: if that woman is not doing what she has to do as a wife towards you, that's not going to affect you as a father towards your child.
Wait, so can you?
If she's not taking care.
Wait a minute. Can you?
I'll repeat it like.
Yeah, go ahead. Repeat that.
If you have your wife, you're in your home with your child, and she's not doing her responsibility as a wife towards you, that's going to affect you as a father. Example, if you're getting off of work and you're doing things the right way where a woman ain't working really paying, like your money's your money, her money is her money, and your money is her money. You're taking care of the household. If you get off of work at 9 at night, if you got to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning, changing your sons and your daughter's diapers, feeding them, when it's your wife's responsibility, that's going to affect you going to work. If she's not being a good wife, it's going to affect you being a father. So it's going to be the same thing vice versa.
Okay. So what
as a man, I can say the truth. If I done been with a woman that had kids, when she wasn't doing her wifely duties towards me in the physical and in the spiritual, shit wasn't right with me as a man. And I can say this, she ain't giving me pussy when I want, follow my language. She's not listening to me. She's arguing with me. It affected me in everyday life. And it affected the children. So it's the same thing vice versa. A woman becomes cold when she don't get that love from a man. Look how many mothers abuse their sons because it's like the father they're not with.
Okay, but here's the thing. You got to think a little bit farther ahead. So I think that you're talking about more of a situation when the mom and the dad are still in the same home, and I'm not talking about that. So
the thing is, they shouldn't get to the point where they're apart. That's what I'm saying. If they really did the right thing and learned each other before they had a kid and had sex, they will realize they're not meant for each other. So they're going to jeopardize a broken home or a child growing up with insecurities because mommy and daddy didn't figure out their life.
There are plenty of children who grow up well adjusted when that don't grow up in two-parent families.
That's true, but the thing is, the
bottom line is, the bottom line is, if you show your children love and attention and affection and make sure that they are protected and that they can count on you and depend on you, then you are a good parent. You might not do that. Man? I think a mother,
which we have so many.
I'll tell you this. First of all, a lot of mothers are left by themselves to raise a man. But I wouldn't say.
What's the reason?
Listen, wait. Let me finish. Let me finish this, because we're not gonna do this shit. A lot of women are left to. Hold on a second.
You have a call from.
All right. So like I was saying, a lot of women are left to raise men because men ain't there. They too busy out there chasing ass. They too busy out there sacrificing their freedom. They locked up. They with other women. They taking care of other kids. They on drugs. They doing a whole lot of shit. So I'll say this: a woman, a mother can raise a man to know what a woman likes, and that is and a man can't even do that. So she might not be able. Somebody got to.
That doesn't come off. I don't think.
Hold on.
Well, I don't know because I haven't used it.
Oh, you got. Yo, grown woman, don't try. You got to mute your background. You got to mute your background.
And it don't show you where it is. Okay.
You got to mute your
I
background.
can say this.
All right. So hold on. No,
Right.
I'm not done. Wait a minute. I'm not done. Not done.
Listen, I'm listening.
All right. So like I said, a woman may not be able to raise a man to be to in the way that a man might raise a boy, but she can show him what a woman looks for in a man, and she can teach him how to be a better man to a woman. She can do that. Now, she might not be able to teach him how to deal with situations when it comes to other men and things like that, the way a man should be able to. And I say should be able to because not all men know how to do that either. So, but I'm not going to get into a woman or a mother can't raise a boy to be a man, because yes, the fuck she can, especially if she has no other choice but to do it. And there's too many single mothers out there that don't have no choice. She ain't raising him to be. She ain't raising him to be no woman. So she must be raising him to be a man. Now, if she has other, hold on. But she may have other resources. She may have a male cousins. She may have a father who is the son's grandfather. She may have uncles, her brothers. She may have a whole lot of other. She may introduce her son to sports. So the coach is helping out. You know, I mean, there are other ways to get fatherly advice and guidance without somebody being your biological father. There are plenty of other ways.
The reason the woman ain't how the woman used to be, and the man ain't how the man used to be. Old school grandmas, when they men was, this is why they grown up single, mothers single now. Old school women, when the man was acting out, being funny verbally or this, that, and third cheating, grandma ain't never called the cops on him. Grandma ain't never beat him up verbally or physically. Grandma ain't attacked him. Grandma sat there quiet. So he kept coming home because she was quiet. The modern day woman, regardless about race, they're single because these modern day women forget the one thing. No, your mouth is going to push that away. It's sad that it happens. I'm glad that I was born into wedlock with my mother and father, but then I realized why my dad left. My mom ain't have control over her fucking mouth.
What makes you think? What makes you think there was a time? What makes you think there was a time when women didn't step up for themselves or say nothing? What makes you think that? Hold on. What makes you think that there was a time in history that we know of where women just shut up and let the man run everything? When was that time?
Right now, this is the truth, and especially in this country, from the 1930s to the 1960s, before welfare was implemented.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
We're different.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. That is some bullshit that they keep kicking to everybody, and so they can. It is. My dad. Hold on. My dad was born in 1937, and his mom was younger than his dad, and they weren't together, and he was raised by his grandparents. So even though there was nothing that should have stopped his mother from raising him or his father from raising him, he wasn't raised by his mom or his dad, so he had to be raised by his grandparents. Hold on. And he told me how his grandmother and his grandfather used to argue like cats and dogs every day. His grandmother, even though his grandfather and his grandmother loved each other to death, they argued day in and day out. She didn't have to keep her mouth shut. She was able to speak her mind. But he wasn't
like my grandma.
Well, all I'm saying is there wasn't no time when women didn't have no say so. We got to stop talking about that bullshit.
This is one thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this if you allow me to. In this country, for example, black men had the right to vote in 1902. White women didn't get the right to vote in 1902.
Ain't no black men had no right to vote in this country in no 1902.
Go look it up.
I ain't gotta look it up.
The country of America had the right to vote before white women. White women didn't get the right to vote until 1921, my brother.
Okay.
I had a piece of paper on this. I'm speaking of fact. The woman in this country, the cops will call the cops. Your wife will call the cops. Oh, my husband beat me.
Different states,
Absolutely.
different states had different laws. Black men were not allowed to vote in this country, the whole country, in no 1902, and not no 1922, and not no 1942. It was damn near not until 1962. What do you think we got the voting rights?
In effect, but black men had the right to vote before 1921. It was around 1902, and black people had the right to vote in this country. Black men. Where? Maybe in New York, maybe in Philadelphia, maybe in Boston. But I bet you they wasn't voting nowhere in no Mississippi, nowhere in no Louisiana, nowhere in no Virginia, nowhere in no. I'm speaking on the land I was born in.
New York don't represent this. Ain't no place in this country like New York. You can't use New York as no example for nothing. You can't use New York as an example for nothing. Most people from New York ain't even from New York.
No, I was born here. My mom was born here.
Wait. Your mom was born in New York? Your mom was born in New York?
Yeah, my dad is an immigrant, though. My dad is from Dominican Republic.
Okay, I got you. Okay. Oh, that's right, because your mom is black.
My grandfather, I didn't want to say that. Yeah, my biological grandfather is Jackie Robinson, the baseball player.
Oh, that's what's up.
I didn't want to say that because it doesn't. I didn't fuck the bragging. But no, I'm a black man. I don't like my name is Edith Ramon Nunez. I don't consider myself Spanish. I'm a black man, Spanish blood. So I'm a black man. I'm a New York born and raised.
There are plenty of black people in plenty of. There are more black Latinos than the light skinned ones.
Yeah, but the thing is, even the dark skinned Latinos don't consider themselves black, which is
it don't matter. You know what I mean? It don't matter what you consider yourself.
It matters to me.
I mean, I understand it matters. It matters politically to me too. But that'd be like me saying I ain't black. It don't matter what I say I am. I am what I am. You know what I mean? I don't need you to co-sign it or admit it or whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You born into what you born into. But call it with the last numbers.
We all mixed up this day and age.
Hold on. Call it with the last numbers 8658. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Sorry about the the back and forth, you know what I mean? But you started it because you had a lot of noise in the background.
It's okay. Sorry about that if I had noise because I was doing something else.
It's all right. It's all good.
But anywho, I want to get this conversation back on track because I feel that everybody that has a religious bone in their body, regardless if you're Christian, if you're Baptist, if you're Muslim, we're all going to interpretate what we read in the Bible to suit our own purposes. Now that that's out the way, I want to go back to the topic. I believe from personal experience that you can have a significant other that you've born children with. However, if me and that person no longer gel, we don't get along anymore, why am I going to inflict that pain on our children? Black children historically have enough problems being born into the world being born black. Let's just be honest. Okay? Why put that on my children? I don't have to like you. You don't have to be a part of my life. But what I demand is that you be a part of what we produce, their life. Unless you're going to be a negative image. If you're going to project negativity on our child, then no, you don't deserve to be there. Because I don't want a man that's going to teach my son to be a drug dealer. Okay? That's your life. You keep that over there. When you come to see our child, then you leave that there. You bring positivity to that household. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got my head up my butt. I'm not sure. but I raised 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And my ex and I were not together. I never stopped him once from seeing his children. He made that choice. I still instilled in my children, you are his children. Okay? And you will respect him as he is. Maybe I took it a step too far, but I wanted them to see for themselves. I never downgraded their father in front of them. My thoughts of how he treated me was my business. I've always told my children, I allowed your father to do what he did to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like as blacks, and I can't speak for everybody, I can only speak for my race. We're born into this world with too many problems. We actually have a target on our backs. Why would you want to instill more pain on that child? And as far as the callers saying that black women never had anything to say, the grandfathers had everything to say. My grandmother stood 5 feet. She weighed 105 pounds. My grandfather stood 6 feet. He probably weighed over 200. But what Harriet said went, because they had a mutual respect for each other. No one in any relationship is right all the time. Absolutely nobody. And if you think that, you're crazy. We're all born to have opinions of our own. You know, and we have to learn as a people to respect others' opinions, because we're not always going to be right.
Well, that's facts. That's
I mean,
when it comes to this topic, it's a hard topic because when you're talking about being the mother or the father of some children, there are going to be times when you might regret the whole decision that you made in order to have children with somebody. And that's not to say that you regret having your children, but you may regret the source of where they came from. So if somebody was abusive to you, if somebody was demoralizing to you or embarrassing to you, or just didn't treat you the way that you feel like you needed to be treated, sometimes your children are going to be a reflection or a reminder of that person, even though they're not there. So that doesn't mean that you won't be attentive to them or affectionate towards them or helpful to them, but it may make you do some other things that may not be ethical, or that may just may not be right. You know what I mean? And that may explain how come some mothers lie to their children and tell them that the father don't care about them or doesn't give them money or doesn't provide or the real reason that he's not coming around. Sometimes it can happen that way. You know what I'm saying? Or they may try to exaggerate anything that the father does. Okay, like let's say the dad was supposed to, let's say he was supposed to take the kids to the movies today, or it might be his Saturday, his weekend to come get the kids, and let's say his job calls him and tells him that he has to come in because maybe he works in maintenance or something like that, and they need his help, and it's really not an option. So if he might tell the mama, listen, I gotta go to work today, so I'm not going to be able to come and get him today, but let them know that I'm going to be there, the next day. And he might even talk to his kids like, listen, I got to work tonight, but and I'm sorry that I won't be able to take y'all to the movies, but I'm going to make it up and we'll go see the movie the next time and whatever. Now, okay, after he explains it to his baby mom and maybe to his kids, the mom might take over after that, like, he lying because his job is closed down on Saturday and they don't need him, and he probably just had something else to do because he liked to gamble, he liked to run around, he probably went to the Keith Sweat show. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. You know, like, and that's what I'm saying. When men leave, you do not want your baby mom, your scorned baby mom, telling your story to your kids. You don't want that. It's not going to go well. It is not going to go well. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of men do it because they don't know. They may not know that they baby mom is grimy like that. You know, and she may not even want to be bad like that, but she just is. It's in her. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a tough situation.
Well, in that case, speaking of the way you're speaking
Say that again.
You're speaking. If there's communication, if what you're speaking on, okay, that particular scenario, if there's communication between both parents and those children, if my children's father called and wanted to talk to them, let him. You know, this thing of bitter baby mama, you know, it's a lot of that, I think, because you separated from that individual, regardless of why you separated. You know, he could have been the biggest cheater, whatever. Do not, I appeal to all Black women that are mothers. I appeal to all Black fathers. Don't let your child fall down that rabbit hole. It's not worth it because now you are raising a child who thinks that the other parent doesn't care. You know, I'm all for giving them a chance. We have women out here who have stood 10 toes down in their relationship. And maybe they were mistreated in that relationship. You don't pass it on to your child because what you're teaching your child to do is, oh, if I have a daughter, then I'm teaching her.
And it don't work out to walk away.
Right. You're letting them know you just give up. You don't.
And that's a problem.
We are raising a whole generation of children who have to navigate the way the times are now. My children would never be able to navigate the way I was brought up, what I experienced. And I know that for a fact.
Amen. Yes, man.
World out here. It's a whole different world. And as far as the remarks about the grandmothers and how they stayed silent, my grandmother was 5 feet tall, 105 pounds. My grandfather probably stood over 6 feet. But one thing my grandmother always said, size don't matter to me. I have a voice, I'm going to use it. Let me say this. Most of those same grandfathers that everybody thinks held the family down, it was the grandma. Because she wouldn't let her family fail.
But they had different roles, They had different roles back then. The woman wasn't able to go out there and make the same amount of money that the man would in those days.
Oh, yes, they were. Oh, yes, they were. They had to.
They did.
My grandmother did. Let me say this to you. My grandmother did housekeeping. Okay? Because my grandfather did not have the education that grandfathers today may have. So he had no marketable skills. He did what he could do to bring money into the house. But it was the grandma.
He was still making more than what grandma was making.
You can't say that.
Grandma was back then was making ends meet. Grandma always did what you had to do to make ends meet. But regardless if the man had an education or not, grandpa was somewhere in a mechanic shop doing some kind of work, always bringing in a steady paycheck. Grandma made ends meet. She took care of the home. She raised the children the right way, like how you said with the daughters, for example. When they, just start over, no. when grandpa came home drunk, this, that, and third, what the kids seen? They didn't see grandma get angry and throw him out, call the cops and attack him. She sees grandma go somewhere and be quiet and pray. It's different. Let me different roles back then. My grandmother was a housemaid as well. And then she came to New York in the 70s and became NYPD. But when she was in Mississippi, she couldn't, the housekeeping, that's what they did. But grandma only made ends meet. Grandma wasn't the provider. Grandma stayed home. She would go out there 2-3 days a week and stuff. For the most part, we had some women who had to work full time, but for the majority, grandma stayed home. She raised the children. She taught them how to read. She taught them manners.
Listen,
I think that's generalizing how it works.
Yeah, but that's how it was. That's how it was 90%.
See,
where you get them numbers from?
Listen. Because what I'm trying to tell you is my own personal experience. My grandfather got sick. He couldn't work. My grandmother held us down. Okay?
So he got sick. Wasn't he the breadwinner?
You can't generalize, but you're generalizing. You're not.
I'm just asking a question. The thing is, I hear what you're saying. I'm just not agreeing with it. Before anybody gets sick, in those days, the man was the breadwinner. That might be saying it's too broad in general, but that's how it was. White or black, in those days, in the old days, the man was the breadwinner.
No, it wasn't.
Domestic violence was up the roof.
You can't really say.
You can't say that.
Yeah, because this single parent.
There wasn't women working in the mills back then. In this country, in the early 1900s up until the 60s, there was no women working in steel mills. There was no concrete workers, women building bridges in this country. There wasn't a woman truck drivers or anything like that. The women stayed home. We forgot what happened when the men went to war in this country and women had the first time opportunity to go out there and get jobs and get paid what the men were getting. We forgetting history.
No, that's not our history. That's not our history, my dude. No, it's not. You think that's. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Especially now, you can separate black from white, and you have to. But black people have never been in a position in this country where only one income was going to make it for all black people. It didn't work that way, and there is no era. There is no era post slavery where there were only 2-parent families. This single parent shit is not new. It's not new.
That's been that started in the 60s and 70s, bro.
No, it did.
There was no single parent.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
You had some hearing there.
What you talking about? I just told you about my. I just told you.
You didn't do that back then.
I just told you about my dad. I just told you his mom was a single mom. She had other kids. She wasn't married to nobody. So
now this is different. You got certain men out there.
And I asked him. Wait, hold on. And I asked him. And I asked him.
The majority speaker.
Listen, he was from down south. And I asked him. I said, "Were you the only child that you knew that was in the position that you was in?" And he said, "No, there were plenty of other kids that only had their mom." There were plenty.
Yeah, but that's not the majority. That's not the majority.
You can't say you wasn't there. You know what I mean? You know what? And you know what? And I challenged my pop on this. I challenged my dad, my dad on this because he used to always talk about how when the social workers used to come out to the crib, and if they saw men's clothing there, shoes or whatever, then they would cut off the check. And that's what drove black men away from the family, right? That's what a lot of people believe. Hold on, that's what he said, and a lot of people believe this shit. So they saying that welfare took the black man out of the home because the government was giving black women a check, but only if she didn't have a man in the house. All right. So okay. So I asked him, I said, All right, so we talking about welfare. I said, what kind of man, what kind of husband, what kind of father would allow his family to live off of a welfare check? What kind of man would leave his home so you could get it? Hold on. What kind of man would leave his family so that the mother of his children could get a check that qualified her to be poor? That ain't no man. Any check beats a welfare check. There ain't a job out there that pays less than welfare gives you. Not a one.
You got some men out there that I know personally that quit their jobs because they get put on child support, and you rather have welfare. I know men personally that do that.
That's
shit.
not what
a job. Nah, I'm not paying all this shit.
Okay, all right. So you saying what I'm saying? What kind of man is that? So if that's not an explanation. That's not an explanation for why the black man is not in the home, and it's not an explanation of why black men shouldn't be with their children. There's no that it doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. Because if I will leave my crib so you can get on welfare, then I ain't no good any fucking way.
How many men we know go right to the next town?
Because I can work for Mr. Chung in the corner store and make more than I make on welfare. So you think I'm gonna
think like that?
What I'm saying is that myth of driving black men away from their families, I challenge it. I don't think that is true. It's not passing the smell test.
It had somewhat to play. It affected it somewhat, but it wasn't the reason why the black man left.
Well, a lot of people believe it.
It affected it, but it wasn't the reason.
A lot of black men believe it, and they was there, and they say they was there when it was happening. So what am I supposed to say? I was born in 1970. I can't tell you what was going on in 1955. I can't tell you what was going on in 1965. Not from an eyewitness perspective. So what am I supposed to tell my pop? What am I supposed to tell him? No, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. He feels like he knows what he's talking about, but that his perspective may be limited to what he saw. Of course, it can't explain everything, but the bottom line is, I don't think that black men can honestly blame black women for raising the kids wrong if they not in there insisting that they contribute.
Here's the thing, like how you said it, being a good husband and father. You man is the head, the woman is the neck. You need one with the other to raise a child. You can't be a good father and then be a terrible husband. It don't work like that.
You can.
Fathership is under being a husband. No, fathership
you just can't be in a husband. You just can't be in the house. There's a difference between being a bad boyfriend or bad husband in the house and being a bad husband or boyfriend, which made you leave the house. You probably can't be a good father to your kids if you are mistreated. No. Let me finish. You probably can't be a good father to your or a good example of a father to your kids if you are mistreating their mother in front of them. But if you are separated from their mom, whereas you don't even have to have that direct contact with her anymore, you can be a good father to your kids. You go get them and you treat them the way that they're supposed to be treated as a father. And if it's not possible to be a good father to your kids, if you are not a good boyfriend or good father, how come so many people, how come so many kids love their fathers so much?
Here's the thing, people put curses on their kids without realizing it. When you boyfriend and girlfriend, you have your kid, you make your kid a bastard. Like, you're literally putting negativity on the kid before the kid is even born here. Bastard. You have to, the woman is the man rib. This is when it comes down to it. What people believe in is a big choice. And it don't matter what they interpret or how they interpret it. When you say thou shalt not kill, you mean don't fucking kill.
No, you don't.
So you have to, it's a difference. It's a difference between killing and murder. Those
Exactly.
are two different things.
It don't say thou shalt not murder. It said thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, but but in the Bible, there was people getting murdered, and it was a law lawfully.
But they should have wrote thou shalt not murder.
No, it was a difference, meaning this. Thou shalt not kill. I was jealous you can kill somebody. But murder, listen, when you thou shalt not kill, meaning you have a problem with some other man, so you just cut him down. Sin. But murder is completely like that, and murder is different. Murder is, I said it backwards. Murder is when you have a problem with somebody and you cut them down. But killing, either Moses did it. Somebody killed somebody's husband. It took his wife. Moses said, no, we have to kill you. The murder and killing are two different things. People don't go about what it is.
Well,
the woman is murder. The man is responsible for himself. So once he chooses that woman and lay down in that bed, because becoming a wife and a husband is not just a ring. Once you get down and lay that bed, you're responsible for that woman regardless y'all have kids. Like, that's your rib. A man will take care of himself. When he's not being a lover to that woman, he's not being a good father. He should have been careful who he chose to stuff his penis into.
Well, that's an opinion, and that's your opinion.
Most women, look up, like, it's terrible how I see how my own people treat each other. For being black, necessarily, people say we got to retarded on our back. That's not true. We the only race of people. Now, I'm not trying to be racist. We're the only race of people that can survive anywhere on this earth. We get energy from the sun through our eyes. We get grounded just standing in dirt and get stronger. We are blessed. It ain't, we got to stick on a target. Everybody going to hate the best. That's why they hate us. So we got to understand that shit.
It's a different
but
kind
the
of
woman
blessing.
is our responsibility. Once we have them and we have that child with them, there is no I'm walking away. Nah. Most people feel it's okay to have sex before marriage and children out of wedlock. It's not okay. People are forced to live in these situations because they're not going about the right way to do things. And it's not my right way. If you look how women respond to men in general. Most women nowadays are argumentative. But when I tell women the truth, listen, name one man in the Bible, a holy man, that had one wife. They get quiet. I said, listen, back then, they had more than one wife and they was holy men. You want me to be satisfied with you and you can't control your fucking mouth? I'm out of here. Most people don't look at it for what it is. Once you choose that woman, you're responsible for her. Same thing how, like, the woman and the child. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or be a sexist. Same thing with the woman and the child. They like the same with a man. A man has to teach both of them. We were here first. We're spiritually stronger than them. We're supposed to have our duties in order. When it comes to the drinking thing, I just wanted to say this earlier. I lost my thought. God said you can drink, just don't become no fool. That's simple. You can drink and don't be drunk and become a fool. When some people drink, they get happy and smile. But a little bit too much, you want to get higher and fight. That's why they call the shit wine and spirits. You get too drunk, you open up a door, spirit get in you. But there's nothing wrong with drinking. Just don't become no drunk and fool.
I don't think God wants you to drink. I don't think God wants you to smoke.
He wants you. He said a little bit of wine is good for our
No, he ain't say nothing. Man said that. God ain't never say that. God ain't never say that you could drink.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He said,
no, he didn't.
A little bit of wine is good for our belly.
No, he ain't say that. Man wrote that.
Lord came.
No. Some European man, a European man wrote that. A European man wrote that. Didn't know God write that. A European man wrote that because they like to drink. That's why in Islam drinking is prohibited because they know God don't want you to drink.
But Islam is the youngest religion in the world. It's the fastest growing.
Yeah, but they know
religion in the world. Islam didn't come around 700 years ago, brother.
It's a young religion as far as being.
It's a baby religion, and they take from Christianity. My father is about Muslim, and I'm not. In the Quran itself, it says it. If you want to know the truth, believe on the Injil.
Okay.
If the Quran itself saying believe in the Injil, I'm going to believe in the Injil. Before the Bible was called the Bible by the Europeans, it was called the Injil. I'm not saying this new white man wrote that Bible.
Yo, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. You got to slow down, dog. You got to slow down. God did not write no alcohol drinking into no Bible, and God didn't write the Bible. Man wrote the Bible and said that it was from the messaging that God gave him. God didn't write.
Who do you think put those thoughts there? Can you explain on two different sides of the earth, thousands of years apart? Can you explain how on two different sides of the earth, thousands of years apart, different cultures have the same exact writing, saying the same exact thing about the same exact person and entity?
And you know
the Egyptians, the letter J for Jesus was created in 1600 AD. They got stories of Jesus in ancient Egypt about Isis giving birth to a Christ-Lord Savior. Before the Bible, the so-called Bible was even put together as a book, they talk about Christ. Every culture talks about it.
You got a lot to learn.
Everyone.
You got a lot to learn. You locked into to your teachings and the way that you think. But there's way more knowledge out there. But I know this.
And that's the truth. I know this. It never works. All knowledge ain't good knowledge. You can live in the Stone Age. You can study the devil, learn how to build a rocket ship. You in the Stone Age. You ain't got the materials to build that shit. There's certain knowledge I don't need to know. I don't need to be the most intelligent. I don't need to know witchcraft. There's certain things I don't need to know. But natural laws of man say, nah. Once I have sex with this woman, she's mine. I gotta make sure.
How do you know that what you do know is what you need to know?
Because everybody I see from history, and when I look around and see my brothers and examples I have around me, the ones who they for marriage, the ones who don't, I see the ones who don't go by that law are fucked up. Literally, they're never happy. They got to the point where life is about owning property, going to work 6-7 days a week, wishing their children grow, wishing their significant other grow. Like no, it isn't. I look at the examples around me. I see people when they're so concerned about sex. I have a guy that I trained. He and his baby mother, they have 2 children. He's in a shelter, and he just got pregnant again. And I'm talking to him like, yo, you're the man in your situation. Why are you going to do that again? You got to get online for you and the baby mother and your children to eat. Oh, I just want to have sex. Nah, bro. Oh, but I'm a man. Exactly. You're a man. If you know you're a man in this situation, why are you going to bring another life into the suffer? We don't mean to do what I did, keep it just locked up. We don't just have people that make people feel guilty and bad no more for the wrong shit right. The man's responsible for that woman. Regardless about how my mother was with me, her mouth is the reason why my father didn't raise me. Now, I had a stepfather and uncles in my life, but it also, just because it was men with me, that had me have even more resentment and hatred for my father. So how come this man who ain't fucked my mom is here with me, but you can't be? So it's like, no, the man has to be there in the household. He has to. You paying financially, or I'm going to buy you a car for graduation. Look how many kids have parents that do that. I ain't seen my dad in 2-3 years. They bought me a car for my graduation. Oh, why you ain't happy? Fuck that car. I haven't seen my dad. I got a brother call me. I'll pay your phone bill. I'll give you $300-400 a week. Why you want to see me? Cause dad, you my dad. I want to see you. I gotta work. I got bills. I gotta work.
Listen.
Make that sacrifice.
Listen, I gotta let y'all go.
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to thank y'all for calling in, though. I appreciate it, as usual. Thank you so much.
God bless, bro. Hey.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.
All right. So, all right. Well, let me check this poll. The poll question: do you think that a man can have multiple children by different women and be a good dad to them all? I didn't announce that poll question before I put it up. I just put it out there. See what we could what y'all thought. So it looks like the majority of people out of the 12 who responded say yes. 75% say yes, and 1% says no. So out of 12 people, basically 2 people said no. You cannot be a good father to all of your children if you have multiple children by multiple women. So I want to ask y'all about the poll question. For those of you who say that a man can be a good father, a good dad to all of his children, even if he has multiple children by multiple baby moms, I'm interested to know what y'all consider a good father to be, because I'm not saying that it's not true, but I think that we owe it to ourselves to define what a good father is, and we probably should have done that earlier in the show. But I want to make sure that we take care of that. I want to be able to drive that point home. What is a good father to y'all? Can y'all list some things that y'all say that a good father is? Can y'all list some characteristics of a good father? Because I'm thinking like this: if a man has, depending on how many children he has by multiple women, he might have to spread himself really thin in order to give the proper amount of attention to the children that he has. And that's always my concern. Yeah, we can conceptually do a lot of things, and we may really believe in our heart of hearts that we're doing some things the right way or the best way possible. But sometimes that doesn't stand up to what's really going on, and whether we're doing the job that we think that we're doing. So I'm okay. Ansel Jones says being available. Okay, can I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more, because like a dad could be sitting in the bar and still be available. You know what I mean? Like what is his real availability? You know, like what about being more than available? How about being more proactive? You know, should you always have to go get your dad, or should he always be there? Maybe a little bit of both or whatever. I don't know. I grew up in a situation where my dad had multiple children by multiple women. Now, I didn't find out about it until, well, I guess I kind of always knew, but it didn't become a reality to me that I had to deal with until I was 14 years old. So the good part about it is I had never had any problem being with my dad. He was always, just like Ansel said, being available. He was always available to me. I never had to wait. And as I got older and I saw how many children he had, how many different baby moms and all that kind of shit, it used to make me wonder how the hell he did it. How do you split your time that way? Because for a long time, up until the time I was 14 years old, the only outside children that I knew about was his second marriage and the woman that he was dealing with before he met my mom. That's all I knew about. I heard, kids hear things, people whisper things, but like I said, I didn't have to deal with it. It wasn't my reality. But after I saw how many children that he had to split his time with, and he did do it. He did it. And it was a lot easier for him after we were all introduced to each other and he didn't have to hide anymore. But even when he was hiding, even when he was keeping things on the low, I don't know, his energy level must have been through the roof, because that was a lot of kids. Like, imagine your wife thinking that you only have 4 kids, but you really got 12. Well, at that time, he didn't have 12 yet. At that time, he had 11. No, something like 11. Let me see. Let's break it from top to bottom. Victor, Shell, Dita, Eric, Ahmed, PJ, me. Victor, Shell, Dita, Eric, Wakita, Ahmed, PJ, me, Hafid, Gamel, and then Sarah. So he had 13. He had 13. But at the time, Terrence, I guess it's really 14 because you gotta say Terrence and Kalima and all right, so 14. When at the time I was 14, Terrence and Kalima and Anwar were not. Damn, he's really 14. It's really 15, I think. But there were about 11 at the time. So splitting your time between all of them. Now, of course, some were significantly older than the younger ones, so they didn't need as much time or whatever. But that's not an easy feat to pull off. And now he took care of all of his kids, but you can't say that he took care of them equally. You can't say that he was as good of a dad to the older ones as he was to the younger ones. You can't say that. You know what I mean? There's just not enough of him to go around. So maybe generally he was a good dad, and maybe just in my eyes. You know what I mean? Well, it's not as easy as it may seem to some people. You know, maybe everybody gets their time, but some people are going to not get as much time as they need or as they require. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. So when I think about my situation, my family situation growing up, and I'm not the only one I know who went through all of this kind of stuff, but I am the only one that I know of where my dad really tried. He kind of made it his life's work to try to be there for everybody. But there ain't no way he was a great dad to everybody. He was probably, I think that I had the best relationship with my dad. But that might be from my perspective. How can I really say that? Well, I can't really say that. I can kind of say it. But, it is what it is. It's not this is not an easy topic. Let me see. Okay. And so says a phone call from across the world means you were thinking about them. That's true, but you're not there. But you ain't there though. Dimples D says a good father is a good influence, education, dependable, listener, provider, loving, and a good teacher. Now, how can you do those things if you're not there? You have to be present. It's not easy to be a good influencer. It's not easy to be a good educator. It's not easy to be dependable. It's not easy to be a good listener. Shoot. A lot of the elders don't even think that you should listen to no kids. You gotta listen. What they used to say, you should be seen and not heard. Hey. I'm on my show. What's going on?
Bring me some water.
All right. So yeah, it's not. being a good father is very subjective. It's very subjective. And this is coming from a man that had to deal with my daughter living in, 2 states away. It ain't that I can pat myself on the back all I want and say, yeah, I'm a good dad. Yeah, I'm a good dad. Why? Because I sent the money every month? Because I make the phone calls? Because when she came down here, we did things, we had fun and all of that. Ain't no denying that her mom did the bulk of the work. It ain't no denying. I ain't checked, as a dad, I ain't checked one homework assignment. Not one. Not a one. She goes to school in New York. I'm in Philly. So I couldn't show her how to conjugate a verb. I can't teach her. I couldn't show her I before E except after C. I couldn't check her spelling words. I couldn't, do a science project with her and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess I was a good dad for what opportunities I had when I had them. But I can't, get all on my high horse and be like, yeah, I was the best dad in the world. Come on, man. And sure, I wanted to do all of those things. And had she been closer, I would have done all of those things. But, I got to be realistic. From her perspective, would she say I was the best dad in the world? Maybe she would. Maybe she does. But it doesn't necessarily mean that in comparison to somebody else, somebody else could have done a lot more. So, and I don't have multiple children by multiple women. I don't have that on my resume. I got one child, one biological child. Have I been a father to other children, non-biological? Yes. Yes. And they've thanked me and praised me for it and all that kind of stuff. And that's all well and good. But if I have the presence of mind and I'm rational and even humble enough to say, yeah, I could have done more. Somebody with 5 different children by 4 different baby moms. If I could have done more with one, you ain't gonna tell me that they can't do more with 5. I'm just saying. I ain't, listen, man, for all the fathers out there doing their thing, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Stay in that fight. This is the most important fight you'll ever be in your life. But you gotta keep it a buck. You gotta keep it a buck. Now, as far as the topic is concerned, shoot, how many of y'all know somebody who has told you that they can't stand their baby mom? How many of y'all have a sister, a female cousin, a mom, or something that tell you that they can't stand they hate their baby father? How many of y'all know somebody, a woman who pretty much puts their kids up for ransom? No money, no visits. Because I know some. And you know some. And you might have scolded them for doing it. You might have told them that they was wrong for doing it. And you know what happened? They stopped telling you that they do it. Since you don't want to co-sign it, because you just don't understand. You don't understand how they feel. You don't understand what they're going through. You don't understand what they got to deal with as a baby mom. And so Jones says, you can have perfect attendance and fail. Interesting. Dimple says, for me, I had many brothers and sisters, but for us, it didn't matter if time was always shared and there were many other women, but time was divided but in his teaching, selfishness was not one. That's what's up. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world, says, as rare as it may sound, there are good mothers and bad wives, bad mothers and good mothers. Hey, it ain't that rare. I'm glad you brought that up. I know people who can't stand their mom. Can't stand her. And when you hear this shit, it's kind of heartbreaking because you get to thinking like, what could a mother do for you not to like her? But I've known some women. I've known some way more girls. I've known way more women that did not like their moms than men. But I've known some men who didn't like their moms either. There are plenty of abusive moms. There have been moms who have abandoned their children. There have been plenty of moms out there that you could tell did not want children, but they had them anyway. And some of them had a lot of them. David Vickers, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. There are a lot of women, a lot of mothers who had 4, 5, 6, 7 children. Half of the children, three of them is special, 3 or 4 of them special needs and shit, and the other ones with their baby father. They might have custody of one of them. And I don't even want to go into their foster care shit. I don't want to go into the ones that lost their kids through child protective services. I don't want to do that. Shit. Yeah, there's some deadbeat moms out there. And I done met a few. There are some deadbeat moms out there. Thank you, Shirley Cheryl. And what up, Cheryl Halsey? What's going on, ma? There are some deadbeat moms out there. There are some abusive mothers. I know a lot of young girls that told me when they grew up, as we became adults, classmates and shit like that. Like, yeah, my mom was really abusive when we was in school. You know, I remember this girl that I knew in the 8th grade. And, she came to school every day and, she was kind of sweet on me and everything. We was cool. We ain't go together, nothing like that, but we was always cool. And later on, when Facebook came out, we reconnected. Hey, what's going on? How you been all these years? And how people sometimes they'll share past trauma with you and they didn't know that you didn't know. But I remember this one girl, she told me that her mom was so abusive. So abusive. I think her mom might have had some mental problems going on, some emotional problems going on or whatever. And she was taking it out on her. I didn't know. I mean, that girl put on a good face. She put on a good face. I didn't know. Never even suspected. I never saw any scars, anything like that. You know what I mean? But she said, yeah, my mom was a terror. She said, yo, she was so abusive, physically and emotionally. Now, I don't remember if she told me that she didn't like her mom but she said their relationship ain't where it's supposed to be. It ain't where it should be for a mother and daughter. That's a fact. Wisdom was good. And he says, no man can serve 2 masters. The only problem I had with that verse? When American slave masters used to tell that to their slaves, because they had them thinking that they were their master as God, not just a slave master, but God. Yeah, that's the problem I had with that verse. So yeah, it's touchy. It's touchy. But yeah, you can be a bad girlfriend. Damn, Cheryl, you got me fucked up. Because I'm thinking about all that old grimy shit that I saw. You know, when I was a landlord, man, I saw some nasty shit. I did. Because you know, when you're a landlord, you go in people's houses. You right there in their homes. They ain't paying you no mind. They speaking freely around you because they figure you just in there to make repairs and shit, collect your money and get on up out of there. But can't forget about the moms who tried to pay the rent with the pussy. Can't forget about that. Yeah, the money low this month, Mr. McIntyre, but the money is low, but the titties is sitting up. What's up? We can settle this rent payment right here for the next few months. You know, when I think about that shit, like what kind of example is that to be using? And every now and then, you know, with some of our tenants, sometimes, you know, they would be single. Sometimes they would have a man. We always knew when they had a man because he was always trying to get them not to pay the rent. Like, yo, we call the crib, you know, like, looking for the rent. And we hear him in the background, like, you know what I mean? Tell them when they fix this toilet, we pay the rent. Or when they fix this roof, we pay the rent. Or when we do this or when we do that. And I'm like, well, your name is on the lease. And we don't have no problem making the repairs. But nowhere on the lease does it say that you don't have to pay your rent until we do the repairs. So sometimes he would be, the dude stepping up, telling her what she ain't got to do and who she ain't got to pay. And next thing you know, he ain't there. She two or 3 months behind in the rent, and now he ain't there. Now she back begging. Well, Mr. McIntyre, can we? Mr. Mac, can we? I'm doing some overtime. I'm trying to make sure that I don't live crime as my life, and I want to sup with you. What you trying to do? Can I be your boo? Give you a kid or two, and you can just raise light like mayonnaise, and everything is good. Yo. All right. Anyway. Okay, wisdom says no man can serve two masters. Bible, Matthew 6:24. Contrary to your experience, my father has 2 wives. He left me and sister once for all. He is dead now, but I never understood why. He says, while originally about wealth and devotion, this applies to fatherhood. Dividing love and responsibility among multiple families can create chaos. Okay. And so Jones says, question for mothers in the group. How do you feel about other women being around your kids? Oh, Lord. The women in this chat may be a little older, they might be a little advanced for that. Because it's normally young women who have a problem with other women being around their kids. But the thing is, just like a man saying, I don't have no men around my kids. But the question is, are you around your kids? You talking about don't have no men around my kids. Are you around your kids? Because you can't tell this woman that she can't start another relationship, because especially when you're not in one with her. How you gonna do that? You can try. Good luck with that. You can try. Many have tried. But like I said, good luck with that. Because that just might not turn out the way that you need it to. It might go a little left. That thing might be a little skewed. It might be a little skewed. Yeah, Yeah. The thing about you can't tell a woman, a mother can't tell her. She can't tell the father of her kids that he can't have no woman around their children. What she may be able to say reasonably is that don't put my child in danger. Don't make me have to come see some woman that is abusing my child. Now, I mean, yeah, that's such a nasty little messy situation. Some chicks, you know what I mean? Some chicks try to control everything that's going on with their child, even when he's with the dad or he or she is with the dad. And some men try to control everything that goes on with the child, even when he or she is with the mom. Just make sure that you handle your business right. Now, if your child is not safe around other men or women, yeah, you got all the say so in the world. But other than that, you ain't running shit. You ain't running shit, homie. And so Jones says, Mama Bear is more protective. Well, unfortunately, not all women are protective. Not all mothers are protective of their children. I've known some that put their children right in harm's way. Nasty work. Nasty work. That no woo. Come on, man. Get that on the body there. All right. We're about to get on up out of here, man. We have some birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious February 23rd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Well, let's see. LLA Scott, happy birthday to you. And also Linda Guzman Thomas. And also Dave Roberson, my man going all the way back to like the 1992. And Jay Music Man Burnett. And Aaron Sutton. Victoria Guy Perea. My auntie, again, remember her birthday was yesterday. Well, she has two birthdays today on two different accounts. I don't know. Tina Neal, whatever, man. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious February 23rd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, what does it take to be a good dad? Even when you make your baby mom mad, will you be seen as such? Yo, it really takes much of a lot of effort when you're trying to get your kids right. And you gotta be there every night. Even if you're not there in the physical, you gotta make sure that you listen to the things that they have to say and where they need to be. And understand that they're going to go through things, see? And time's going to be a little rough, but you got to be there because it ain't enough. Sometimes on the phone, yo, FaceTime them kids. Don't leave them alone. Make sure they know where they are, like you a GPS star. Are you in this fight to make sure that your kids are well adjusted and they don't get busted and disgusted with the life that you gave them? Yo, ain't nobody else out there gonna save them. It's hot out here, even though it's cold in the winter. I'm talking to you, mister. Take care of your babies, because if you don't have the love for your kids, that's kind of crazy. And your baby moms, they ain't all that great, not all the time, but you laid with them and didn't stay with them. So they got your kids, you better pray with them. Things can go left, but I ain't trying to get left behind and still shine. Your kids are going to love you one way or another from the time that they small. But listen, y'all, things can go in a different direction, especially when you are not concerned with your children's protection. And this is all because of an erection. Then you ran up in there raw without no protection. Well, that's an adult matter. Even if you had them when you were a child, it's still wild. Well, life goes on, and you gotta make sure that the clothes gone. Open up the door in your mind and make sure that you always are spending them times with your babies, love them to death, resuscitate them back to life. Yo, if you get a wife, explain that they was all born out of love, because you got to fit your kids just like, all right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night on the other side, Monday going into Tuesday at 2 a.m. Y'all know how we do. I want to thank y'all all for coming through. 99 shooting Papa. What's good? Go Eagles, without a doubt. Thanks for calling in. The callers who called in, I appreciate y'all without a doubt. Hit the like button, man. If you didn't hit the like button, hit the like button. I need all the help I can get right now, man. When I tell you that they are playing with my channel, they are. This is bad. It's bad out here. I don't like to be begging, but I'm gonna ask for what I need. So I need y'all to hit that like button and share the show, because that's the only way we're gonna dig ourselves out of this viewer hole. All right. Peace, y'all.